In the last video, we actually built this farm, which is an andesite alloy farm. If you want to know exactly how it works, then check out the last video. In today's video, we're going to expand upon this because we need some resources to build our next project. Hey guys, welcome back to another video on my channel. Today we're back in Minecraft Create, and today I want to do quite a few things. The first thing we're actually going to want to do is expand this because, as you can see, it has been working. We almost have 9 stacks of andesite alloys, and we're also getting a lot of gravel, which gravel is not something we need right now because our farm down over there is also producing gravel. So I think I want to turn this gravel into sand because we also need a lot of sand to build the factory. I have now also planned out the factory in creative mode, and it uses a lot of sand and also a lot of mud. So that is going to be something we're going to want to do. And it should be pretty simple to do as well. So let's quickly just go and grab the resources we need. The actual sand farm that I'm going to be building is going to be temporary. We will obviously remove it in the future and upgrade it to be better. So what we're going to do to begin with is place that on there. And that is facing outwards, which is exactly what we want. But we only want it to output the gravel. So if I just grab a piece of gravel and then click that onto there, I'm pretty sure, yeah, as you can see, that is now actually only letting gravel out. But actually, we don't want to do that just yet because we actually need to get the rest of the farm working first, which is going to be a conveyor belt. So we're actually going to need to throw that right there, I think. Yeah, and then that is actually spinning that, which then that can go onto there. And then this can go maybe down to about here. That should definitely be long enough. We also want to raise it up a little bit just so we can have the chest and the hopper. But I don't actually know how high and how steep these can be raised up. So if I break that, is that going to work? And it does not. Okay, so what about making it maybe on this one here? I guess it doesn't matter about raising it up. We can obviously have it so the system moves, but this is actually going the wrong way because we want it to come down to here where we're obviously going to have the crushing wheels. We're going to have one right there and then also one right there. Let's now also make some of these because we're actually going to need to make some cogwheels. There we go. That should be enough because we actually now need to make this go the other way, which should be pretty simple, I think. If we actually break that and place that, where has that gone? Has it gone on there? It hasn't. Okay, it went in the chest. If we place that right there and then place that right there, and then maybe that right there. Okay, that is still going that way. There we go. I've actually done it like that. This is another vertical gearbox, but instead of this one going that way, it goes the opposite way. And then now if I place that there and that there we go. That is now going the correct way, which is perfect. The next thing we need to do is create some horizontal gearboxes, which I quickly just need to head down here because we actually need to grab some wood. It still currently don't work for cherry logs, so we have to go down here to the oak farm and grab some oak. And we now need 2 of the andesite casings, which we now have. So let's throw them into there with, no, that's not how you craft it. It's these instead, I think. Yep, there we go. So we now just need to craft, what, 3 more of these, which should be pretty easy. And we can now throw that in there with that. And now I think we should actually get this to work. So if I place that there, that one's spinning the correct way. And that one, okay, it's overstressed by doing that. What happens if I actually slow this down a little bit more? So let's maybe change it to 10. Does that then, okay, it appears to not be stressed anymore. And there we go. That is now perfect. I don't think slowing it down would matter. I'll obviously just watch it to make sure. But now all we need to do is add a actual chest at the bottom here so the sand is picked up. And we then just need to add back this, which if I place that there, we need to make it, no, yeah, okay, this is not good. I actually need to place in the gravel right there. So only gravel actually leaves. And then I need to now take off all of these. And there we go. We now have, what, that is 2, 4, 5 double chests. And then obviously the hoppers. So I'm now going to go AFK. And I guess I'll see you guys in a few hours, days, depending on how long it takes. It has now been a few days since I actually last recorded. And through them few days, I have actually been building this. As you can see, the factory now has some of the walls. There are still some that are missing because they need extra detail. and some around this side are also missing because I actually run out of mud. I have also cleared out the area in here, so I've removed all the grass and also all the pink petals. I also do need to flatten it, but I'm not going to do that just yet because obviously I don't want it to be grass. I want it to be some other block. And I do also need to build that other side wall and also the back wall. But we have something that is coming together. Now, what I actually want to do to begin this video is I want to remove that right there because obviously we don't want that hill to be in the middle of the factory. Now, I could use pickaxes and shovels, but that's just something that I don't want to do because one, we don't really have resources for that. And two, it takes quite a long time. So I think I'm going to set up a mining drill. And I'm also going to need to grab some of these andesite alloys. One thing I did also do off camera is I actually okay, it seems to still actually happen. I actually need to fix that. It seems like the cobblestone is falling like through the gaps and landing on this conveyor belt, sometimes causing cobblestone to land right here. And it's not accepting that in because of the actual filters, which means the actual system gets clogged up. So I don't actually need it to be a 5x5 because it don't really need to go any higher than this because, yeah, as you can see, not much of the terrain goes higher and I don't care about breaking 1 or 2 blocks. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to extend it this way by some, and there we go. That should now work. So what I now need to do is connect this to a cart assembler, which I think if I just do something like that, that should work. There we go. I've now built the rail, and I know there is a way you can actually make it so the rail is broken and placed, but we only need to dig out this little area, so I don't think that's going to be something I actually work on. We'll work on that when we actually need to go underground and dig. So the next thing I actually think we want to do is just craft up some actual chests so that the items actually get stored somewhere. I'm not actually too sure if they can go on the top like that, but that is where they are going. So let's quickly now just glue all of this together. So that is all glued, and then all I think I need to do is just glue that like so. And then if I put the minecart there, I just quickly need to go grab a wrench. It's not working because it actually needs to be powered. And there we go. That done something. That broke all of them blocks. Okay, that's something. So what do I need to do now? Do I need to push it? Yeah, that seems to be working. Although I've actually stuck the rails, I think. So do I just need to carry on pushing it like this? I don't actually know. Yeah, one of the rails is actually moving with it, as you can see, because I actually glued it by mistake. So I want it to go to about here. So I think having the rails stop right there should be good for now, as we don't want it to actually break the walls that I've already built. So if I do something like that, and then now just give it that little bit of boost again, it should start going. Although it has stopped. Why is that? That's because there's no rail there. There we go, it's now going again. And do I have to push it? No, it seems to be going. That pig has also just died. And as you can see, that has already done one whole chunk. To actually mine this out, this would have took absolutely ages. So I'm actually really happy with how quickly that's actually worked. And no, we don't want it to break them blocks. Okay, so that is it done. Now, I'm pretty sure I can just do that, and it has picked it up. So I've now actually dug out the next area, and as you can see, I've also put the rails down. So all I need to do is put that right there. No, that is facing the wrong way. So let's quickly just pick that up. And how do I make it face the other way? Do I need to place it like that? Nope, that is facing the wrong way again. Do I need to place it like that? There we go. I think that's now facing the correct way. It seems to be. Now, how do I make this start? Do I just push it? Yeah, there we go. That is working, although it didn't break these first few blocks, but I don't mind about clearing them. And it's now almost at the end. There are some blocks up here, which once again it has missed, but that's because I didn't build it tall enough. But it's only like 2 layers, which shouldn't be too hard to remove. So now let's quickly just break that and also break the lever, because we are going to have to rebuild this, I think. So if I put that right... No, I actually think I need to put the cart assembler there first. Okay. That's broke the system, but the wrong way. That's totally fine. No, I think we can fix that. I got there in the end. So now if I place it like that, that places it in the correct way. Once it's got to the end of this line, I am going to go and do that other line just because there is quite a big chunk right there. That area might be fine, but I think I'm just going to do it because we've got it on that range anyway. And there we go. It's now the final set of blocks, and it won't actually break these because there's no drills right there. And I think that's now it actually done. So we can now actually pick that up. How do I do that? There we go. And it looks so much cleaner here. although obviously this will be filled with farms at some point. But it's definitely a big area that has actually been dug out. We obviously just still need to do that area that is floating over there. But let's now actually see if I can set this up to make it so it can actually dig out the floor. Now, the only thing is I'm going to have to do this twice because the actual factory is 50 blocks long. It's 80 blocks by that way, 50 blocks by that way, and we only have 25 of the drills, so 25 twice should then dig out this whole floor. And there we go. So that is now all of these. I don't actually know if this is going to work because I don't know if there is a limit on how far the actual minecarts can push. So what we are going to have to do is have one area right here. Actually, no, we can't. We can have it over this side, I guess. So this area right here in the center will be where the actual minecart goes down. So I guess if I do something along the lines of that, and then I glue all this together, that should in theory work. So if I actually do need to remove all of this glue. There we go, that's all that glue removed. So I actually don't know if this is going to work. Let's place that right there, and then let's place the minecart inside of that. And then if I quickly, let's just get the glue out. And if I glue that one, and then I take the glue all the way down, is this going to reach, or is there a limit on this? Don't seem like there's a limit. Yeah, the area is too big. So if I glue up to there, and then I glue that up to there, that, I guess that works, but will the minecart be able to move all of this? I'm not actually too sure. I am going to have to actually stop this one a little bit early because there is some actual contraptions under the ground right here that I don't want it to break, so we're going to have to dig around that by ourselves, but that should definitely be fine. And it has also decided that it wants to rain, which is not good. So let's now grab this actual lever. And then let's quickly just power this, and then let's... Do I actually need to make it into a contraption? I don't think I do. It should already work, and it is working. That is actually extremely cool. I thought there would be a limit on how far it can actually go. And as you can see, it's actually slowly digging out the actual floor right here, which is exactly what we want. It does seem to be going a bit slow, so I think I am going to have to go and give it a little boost. But I am going to stop that there anyway, because there is obviously all the chests down here, and I don't want it to break all of them. We'll dig out the rest of this by ourselves. It shouldn't be too much work, but it did do a pretty good job of this area. I am also going to have to quickly just repair this. So let's just place down a block right there. Over the last 3-4 real life days, I've actually been super busy inside of this world. I built a simple wool farm that obviously just consists of some sheep, so I can get a lot of wool, which we now have a decent amount of. So I have quickly just grabbed some stacks of the wool because that is going to be useful to us in a second. And I do quickly just need to come over here and grab some of the actual red dye as well, which we have also got a lot of, and it's also backed up in iron, which that's a good thing. And I have also been busy doing two other things. The first thing that I have been doing, if I quickly just head up here, I have been AFK at this wood farm, which I quickly just threw together. It is exactly how our old farm used to work with the crops, but I just threw a load of saplings down so we could get a ton load of wood, and we have got that. And then the final thing that I have actually done, which has taken me the longest, I have almost completed all the walls on the factory. As you can see, as I come up over the hill, the factory is about 90% done in the walls. I have also completed the floor, as you can see. There is currently 2 walls missing. That's because them ones have just a bit of detail on the outside of them. And I also haven't done the back wall right there, just because that is where the door is. And at the back here, there is going to be some sort of elevator that will take us down into the mountain. I have also started to flatten out the hill just so it kind of fits better. I have also, as you can see over there, started to terraform it just so it's not floating as much. I still need to do a bit more work over there. To finish this episode off, I actually want to work on this a little bit more. I want to build a sand farm, a better one than we actually have here, because although this is producing a decent amount of sand, it's not really anything too good, and it only uses the leftover gravel, which isn't really that much. Another thing I did also do off camera is I actually threw this right here, which that just picks up any cobblestone that gets stuck on this block, because we're actually getting a lot of it and I don't understand why. But any cobblestone that comes through the system, it basically just gets dispensed down here now. The water is flowing, so it pushes it onto this pressure plate and then it will just be left there to despawn. And if I quickly just head over here, you can see that we actually have a lot of andesite alloys. And this just proves how long I've actually been on this world building and also AFK. So now let's actually try and build a system right here. So the first thing we actually want to do is destroy this conveyor belt, because I actually want this to be totally different from this system. We're going to craft up some new mills and basically just build a replica of this part over here. But instead of going to this part where it obviously makes andesite alloys, it will just make the gravel and crush it down. So there we go, I've now destroyed everything that I added onto the end here. Although I actually think we can destroy this as well and just replace that back there, as that isn't really that needed. So there we go, that is now all actually fixed, and we can basically now just extend it. So I think we are going to carry on from the power source that is powering this whole thing. I think going to about there should be fine. And then we just want to bring the actual conveyor belt over here. But we don't want to actually bring that one over here, because we are going to want to crush it down, which I think would be easier if I actually threw the crushing wheels above this. So let's actually get the conveyor belt down first. If I use the actual the amethyst as a temporary block. And now all I need to do is connect them two up, which that is moving in that direction, which is perfect. Then all I think I need to do is just build up and put the conveyor belt, no, not the conveyor belts, the crushing wheels, one right there. No, that's facing the wrong way. So one right there and one right there. But I think I want 3 of these in a row, so it kind of does more than just the one set at a time. We're going to have to head back over here to our crafting grid, although I will move that at some point over to the factory, just so we don't have to keep running back. And I do also plan to move all of our storage. I think I'm going to keep this windmill here and mainly just use it for decoration. And I think that's actually worked this time. It has, which is good. And I've actually made it work every time. How I've actually done that is these bottom 2 right here actually are always facing down. So if I quickly just show you what actually happens now, if I put all of these actually in there, you'll see that the side ones move together and the top ones also move together. And then they all move inwards. And then once it gets to the center part right here, you can see that these bottom 2 don't actually move until the actual thing starts to go down. Which then, as you can see, they actually connect. And then at the bottom there, it will actually pop off the crushing wheels. So we no longer now need to actually panic when it gets to these bottom 2 to flip them around, which is pretty good. And we now also have the crushing wheels, which we can go and place these down. So there we go, they're now all actually placed down, as you can see, just in a row. And the next thing we actually need to do is give them power, which shouldn't actually be that difficult if we just break all the cobblestone, because they were just temporary blocks. All we should really have to do is place down one of these, but we actually want to make them into vertical gearboxes. So we need 2 of them. So if I actually place that right there, yeah, that powers that way. And then all we need to do is actually place down one like so. And then I think another vertical gearbox like that. And okay, that has overstressed the system, which isn't good. We can turn the speed down slightly just for a second. I think to get more stress points, all I have to do is make that bigger, which shouldn't be too difficult. Well, that was a bit too many shafts. I crafted up 4 stacks by mistake. I actually shift clicked it instead of just clicking. That's fine. We have enough andesite alloys to craft that many. And let's craft up 2 stacks. Yeah, there we go. We should definitely now have enough. So the maximum you can actually have on this, I think, is 2 stacks for it to be at its max power. So there we go. I've now made it a lot bigger. As you can see, I added a stack to it. So that should now provide enough power or stress. We have enough power. Let's now quickly just see. If I click it, yeah, there we go. The stress isn't actually too much. Although they are both spinning the wrong direction, so we actually need to fix that as well. I think the way I can just solve that is just by moving the actual contraption back by a block. So if I put that there, and then I actually pick these up and put them one back. I actually don't really need 2 of these bottom ones, do I? Because I could just use the actual gears. or cogwheels, but I don't think I will. I think I'll carry on how I've actually got it. And with that one being placed down right there, and then if I quickly just break this and move this back by a block, that should now be the whole thing spinning. Yep, this is moving, and both of them, or all of them, are actually spinning as well. So I now actually have everything I need, but I have actually just come to a realization. I'm not actually going to fully complete this in this video for two simple reasons. The first reason is I want to actually extend this, so it's not only a sand farm. I also want it to have two conveyor belts on each side. So one, as you can see, will make glass. And then I want the other one to make soul sand, which then we can eventually send to make quite a lot of things. If we quickly just look, you can then make soul sand into quartz and gold. So that is something I want to do, but we've actually run out of conveyor belts and also kelp to make them. So I am going to have to build a kelp farm, but I don't want to do that in today's video because we've actually done a lot in this video. So next video we'll actually build the kelp farm, and then I'll also complete this. But we are going to get the basics of this done just because we're actually almost there. All I need to do is that, and this should now be somewhat complete. If we put cobblestone in these, which will obviously build a cobblestone generator like that one over there. I can roughly show it working because I actually have 26 cobblestone. So let's quickly just divide this into 3 and then throw it into these. And let's just quickly watch it work. If I break these blocks as well, you'll see that it will actually drop down here. That's red sand. Okay, I didn't actually know red sand could be made. How was that made? I'm guessing from the andesite maybe? Okay, it won't actually work because there's no power going to the mills. That's just my brain where I've actually been working on this for so long. I should be able to easily fix this, I think, just by adding some of these going all the way up. Yep, there we go. And that is all I need to do, actually. I don't need any more because they all power each other. So now we should see this work. The actual gravel will drop out of them chutes into the actual crushing wheels, which you did just see happen right there. And then it drops right here into sand. I will also need a option for clay and flint. But anyway, we've got about 90% of the factory done. There will be a second floor to the factory. I just obviously haven't planned that out yet. And we don't need to build that until we have obviously built up the first floor. Anyway, if you did enjoy this video, do leave a like and subscribe. And I guess I'll see you guys in the next video where we will be expanding upon farms and making a lot more things automatic. So I'll see you guys then. Bye.